Hi, this is Talk K Dramas with Bruce and Dallas.
Hey,
This is episode 2
indeed.
of Squid Game.
Hmm.
And you have your 3
Yes,
sentences?
I do.
What?
I'm going to try to memorize them.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. So, a Democratic vote ends the Squid Game. I don't know what to say, the or whatever, but anyway, Squid Game. Sentence number 2: the contestants return to their hazardous, dangerous, misbegotten lives. And sentence number 3 is let the games begin. ... Again. There it is. That's my 3.
Okay. I'm like, is that what really happened?
Well, that's the best. I didn't feel like anything else needed to be said.
I kind of wanted to talk real quick. I went back to watch episode 1, a few things.
Mm-hmm.
And so the man in black who's overseeing the games.
Didn't they call him the front man or something?
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you said he had orange hair. So it was just a glow from the light.
Yes. I was wrong.
It was a glow from light. But you know what I noticed when I went back to watch it? Remember he picked up the phone.
Yes.
To talk to somebody, and he was speaking English to them.
Really?
So the guy in black, he had a little bit of an accent, but he was speaking English to the person on the phone. So what does that mean? Give us a psychological what? Sociological sorry. Give me some sociological stuff you do,
well, the only thing that I can think of is the same reason why BTS is releasing nothing but English versions of songs right now, is because
they just wanted to integrate.
Well, it's just that English is the number 1 language across the world, and so if you're going to talk to someone, if you are any other ethnicity other than being in the United States, it's like the second language that you are most likely to know is English for whatever reasons, and it is what it is.
And it's a Netflix show, so they wanted to appeal maybe more to English speakers. Yeah, I was thinking something a little more sinister.
Like what?
Like they're trying to say America is out to
manipulate and take down the South Korean population. Because
maybe I thought you were going to give us some sociological.
I don't think we're trying to fight that the Korean War again. I think the 57 parallel. I think that's I don't know which parallel it is, but anyway, I'm sure some history person.
Okay, June Pierre.
Some history person is going to go all out on me, like, I cannot believe he doesn't know. It's like, I'm not a historian, but but anyway, I don't think we're battling over the over the borders of South Korea.
But I thought it was interesting.
English, yeah, it was just English.
And you mentioned, they're on an island, and I didn't catch that.
They are on an island, yes, and it's like super duper super duper.
And we know that because we went back to watch it, and at the end, remember after the games were over, they had like an aerial view, and it's so weird. Like they had these doors closing over where they were playing that red light, green light.
Right.
So somebody put a lot of money into this game.
A huge, gigantic amount of money.
I'm wondering if they're going to address any of that, or is it just at the end, it's just going to be like,
that's an interesting question, because I'm thinking about Running Man, right? Of course, I'm going to keep on coming back to that space and how they have it televised. And it literally was just a natural progression of TV shows. That's the way that they portrayed it. It's literally TV shows just became more and more barbaric, more and more, back to the Coliseum, type of stuff, because people are entertained by that stuff. And so maybe it's just kind of like a function of that. However, you don't get a private island with a collapsible, collapsible roof or whatever that thing was. Because I'm sure the reason why they're doing that is because to block satellite views of the space, and so it's like they open it up so the specific satellite can look into that space.
So they could be watching whoever's
so they
watching
can watch Squid Game
all over the world.
Yeah,
kind of reminded me of Truman a little bit.
Yes.
If you haven't seen Truman with Jim Carrey,
that a great show.
Oh
absolutely,
my gosh,
absolutely great show.
Yeah, it's basically a reality show that he's in and doesn't know, but he doesn't know he's the reality show.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And so, I mean, the whole world around him is constructed. Everyone in there is an actor. Everyone knows what's going
Oh,
on.
wait, I think I'm thinking of another show.
Wait, what? I was actually just thinking, like, no, this is good. This is good. This is a good parallel. But
You know what I was thinking of? Oh my God, so dumb. We were just.
I don't know. I don't know what you were thinking of because you're not dumb. And so I was just making sure. I was just following your lead. I was following my
Oh my
wife's
God,
lead.
this is so dumb. Because we were reading the movie Fall Guy or something guy. Remember, we were going to go to the movies with Alana.
Yes.
And we were going to watch that movie, and he's part of a video game. And I'm like, oh, that reminds me of True.
Oh,
it's not Fall Guy.
Like
with Ryan Reynolds.
Yes, with Ryan.
Oh my
Reynolds.
God.
Wow.
I just had a brain fart. I am so sorry.
Good Guy? Something
Good.
Like that. It's
different.
Something.
Sorry.
Something simple like that. But
That's
anyway.
Really embarrassing. We watched too
Look,
much
we're too far into this in order for
I just gotta roll with it.
You're gonna have to cut this out in the editing part or let it roll.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, so let's start.
We're not restarting. Go. Just talk about it. The Ryan Reynolds thing with whatever.
Never mind.
Which is honestly, it's kind of like.
I'm turning my page. Noise. Sorry. He just gets so mad at me because I make so much noise, and he's like, "You're too loud."
Because the podcast. No one wants to hear any of that in the podcast. I'm hoping that I finally got the sound fixed. I'm hoping I finally got the video fixed. We look good. We look good.
Do
right
we?
Now. Yeah,
Can you guys even see us?
I hope so.
If you're listening to us on a podcast, we are on YouTube, so you can watch us now.
We are now. Because my wonderful wife, smart, beautiful wife, did all of that. Amazing. I didn't want to do it. I ain't gonna lie. The podcast thing would made it so much easier. Just keeping it as a podcast was so much easier.
Yeah, it's a little more work. That's probably why I'm a little bit out of it.
And then you're all always frustrated with me because I couldn't figure out the video and the sound, and
that was hard, man. Those YouTubers.
It's still hard. We still might have it right. We still might not have it right. I still might not have this thing right.
Bad. The sound was sorry. With sound, we know the sound was bad on episode. On episode 1.
On our first episode for this one, which it probably was bad for Boys Over Flowers also. But hey, look, folks.
That's why he has the headphones on.
Be forgiving. Be as forgiving as possible in this space. But you know what? Like a couple of a month from now, ain't nobody even gonna know.
No. Episode 2 is titled Hell.
Oh yeah. I didn't know that.
Well, the first scene is them cremating the contestants. And remember the box where some guy they don't even care, man. They're brutal. They're not even trying to waste time.
I'm telling you this.
Remember his fingers he was still alive. He didn't die. And they just drilled the box shut.
Oh yeah. I'm telling you, it's like that honestly was more disturbing than seeing like 100 people get mowed down. Like, I mean, I'm not even kidding. Like when I was watching that, I'm just like, oh, just in case you needed like confirmation that these folks are like pure evil, that's it. I mean, because like I said, it was like it's killing me. Like it is literally haunting me. That image is literally haunting me because what could be worse than being alive in a box and then getting cremated? Like, like I can't even think of a death that's more horrible than that. And so I'm just like, wow. And so anyway, that really kind of just set me off in my head, and I was just like, "Whoa, yeah!" It was gruesome. This
is a little rough.
It is no, for sure. Yeah, I mean it is, but it's Squid Game. I'm excited about what's to come now because this episode was. I don't want to say it was slow, but you really had to be into like. That sandwiched 20 minutes of that last episode into this episode, you really had to buy in to Squid Game. You really had to buy into Squid Game in order to watch this episode with as much patience. Yeah, because they would. I mean, imagine, right? It's like think about timing and tempo and how directors have to do things and story writers. If you would have started with all of this, I don't know if I'd have been that fired up about this.
They needed the action,
right? Yeah, and so and they really wanted you to be, I don't know if it's in love with the lead character, but they really wanted to spend a lot more time on him, developing him, and so it's like I really
rooting for him. They want you to root for him.
Yeah, and like he is the clear person singular person that they want you to root for, right? You have to know that because they spent a whole episode just developing his story, right? And then going into number 2, they put in all the pieces of a lot of other people's story, and then they double down on his story. So it's like they really want you to root for him, for sure.
Now that I'm remembering, can I give a shout out to one of our subscribers, Lewis?
Why are you asking for permission? When have I ever given you permission for anything?
I'm just sick because I want to pause.
Go ahead.
Lewis, thank you for sending us an email. Oh my gosh, that was so nice.
Yes.
From Southern California, but moved to Massachusetts. Him and his wife watch, and I'm so excited. He was very nice.
And his wife also has a PhD in sociology from UCSD, one of my 3 alma maters.
Yeah. Bruce received his bachelor's.
Yep, ethnic studies at UCSD, and yeah, no, that was really cool. And so
Bruce actually gets paid to think the way he does.
Hey,
somebody pays him.
And you notice how she's laughing at this. She's like, can you believe it? Like, can you believe it? Someone pays him to do this. Okay, like. And all I do is just piss Alice off. So let's just be real about that. You know, it's like,
maybe Lewis and I need to talk.
It sounded like there was this like little low-key vibe, like, you sound like her. Y'all sound alike when you talk about things, but he didn't say anything negative about it. It was just funny how, you know, he's picking up
like when
the sociology, if you would, and how I say
when
things.
Your colleague came over and her husband he does flooring. Remember, he's staring at her flooring, and his wife's like, oh my gosh. She's also a sociology teacher.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my gosh, wherever we go, he's totally checking out the floors.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's just like Bruce, wherever we go. I mean, he's like looking at everybody, making all these sociological observations. And I'm like, oh my God.
That's what I do.
That's what he does. Okay. Well, thanks, Lewis. Thanks for
shout out, Lewis. Do the thing over there on the East Coast.
Yeah. And we'd like to let you know it's a beautiful 80 degrees outside. Sunny. Beautiful day.
If y'all see some of that light coming in from this side, that's because we have a beautiful 80-degree day. Yeah.
Middle of October.
Middle of October.
Okay, I don't want to brag.
I know you sound like you are. You did just flex on people. That's for sure.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Well, we're paying for this weather.
We are, for sure.
Yeah.
We definitely paid.
Okay, so they're in the warehouse after the first game, and I can't imagine that they're just like, what just happened?
Yes.
Oh my gosh! And then I 456, our main guy.
Yep.
Our main guy, Gi-hoon. He thanks the other 2 guys, his best friend and Ali, for saving him. He's like, I wouldn't be here.
Right.
No, so I kind of like that they're building this little camaraderie, this little friendship of,
right,
we might need each other.
Like, I know, right? Yeah. Because you know what? Because the games are not clear right now in regards to how many winners there can be. It's not clear, like how many winners there can be. I mean, think about it, right? It's like,
right.
You know, the mega $1 million jackpot, it's like, you know, it could be up to like close to $1 billion, but if there's 10 winners, I'm not saying that would be a bad amount of money to get. I'm just saying though, is that you would divide it with the number of winners. And so,
well, there's 255 were eliminated.
Yeah.
201 are left. And the interesting thing, because remember, right after that, they all started begging to quit.
Oh yeah.
Like they all wanted to quit, and
I'll pay it back no matter.
Yeah, and he's like the person speaking, the guy in the red, and then the other guys behind him with guns, and he's like, "Let me make it clear, we're not here to collect your debts." Yeah. And then he says, those other people that were eliminated, they always say eliminated. I like how they use that word. They were eliminated because they weren't following the rules. And so he says, if you just follow the rules, you guys will leave with money. So I feel like they insinuated that as long as you're not eliminated, it could be all of the rest of you.
Right.
You're gonna, I felt like that's what they meant, that money will be divided. But they also said, I might be going ahead. Something's in my eye.
So we're gonna have to cut this part out.
Something's in my eye. I'm gonna try to keep going. But he also said the people that were eliminated, they were going to give them the money, or only if everybody quits.
Yeah.
Oh, only if everybody decides. Remember the rules. Okay, so I wrote down the rules. There's 3 rules. A player is not allowed to stop playing.
Yes.
Or you will be eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
2, a player who refuses to play will be eliminated. Isn't that the same thing?
You would think, but I get it. I get
I guess when it starts, I could just be like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Or you can start the game and then just say, I'm done.
Yeah, right. It's like, yeah. So starting the game and then stopping, that's rule 1. Right?
And then rule 2.
Rule 2 is, oh, I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
That's rule 2.
Okay. And then 3. Ooh, you might want to use these in basketball.
If you say so.
He's having some problems with some players trying to tell the coaches what they're going to do. I'm not playing.
Interesting.
Okay, you could be like, you know what? I'm going to Squid Game you. You don't know, because that just literally just happened where Bruce was so upset he came home and he's like, is it okay for me to tell them that if you tell me you can't come and tell me you're not playing? Remember?
Yeah.
You were like really upset about that?
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was.
You
really
could Squid Game them.
Hey.
Just be like, no.
You shall be eliminated.
Yeah.
If you.
Okay. So 3, games may be terminated if the majority agrees.
Yep.
And so that's kind of what's happening right now.
So anyway, so I was thinking to myself, one, we were so wrong about how many people got eliminated. I thought it was like 300 people that got eliminated right off the bat, but it was about half of them, a little bit over half of them.
You weren't really wrong. It was 255.
Yeah, so it was a lot. It was a majority of them, and I really did like the whole voting process. Like, I mean, like really, like just thought about like, man, people are already on the fence. They just got finished seeing all these people get murked. And
you're done.
They're like, yo, I don't have any other prospects here in regards to making this money back. So
that's
I'm gonna go in. Yeah,
that's what they're telling him.
Correct. Yeah.
You know, and so they're gonna give. So it's the guy that went to SNU South.
Yeah.
University. So what is that? I get that right?
I want to say Shinhua, but Shinhua University. But
anyways, so he's the one that brings it up. Like, wait a minute, we can vote. Yeah. And so he says, you know, well, let me tell you. So he gave him.
How did he vote? Do you remember how he voted?
Oh yeah, I think he voted no because he went home. He was sent home. So he probably voted no. Okay. But it's funny how he's the one, you know, the smart guy who says, wait a minute, you did say we can, you know, quit the games of everybody. But before that, I think before they vote, he says, you know, let me tell you how much money.
Yeah,
so they know
they're doing all the casino sounds and everything too, because I mean, well, we only know that our guy is a gambling addict, right? And so, but I'm sure feel like a lot of them in that space are actually addicted to gambling.
Some type, or you know, people are just not very good at managing money because they, you know, and not to say that you could be good at managing money and you lose your job and you have financial issues. That happens too.
Yeah.
You know, but the show is making it sound like these people don't know how to manage their money, they're gambling or
for sure
things like that.
Yeah.
They're making it sound like they make decisions, you know. Mm-hmm. You have the business guy, his best friend.
Yeah.
You know, who was
they didn't get people down on their luck like that they were poor already. I didn't get a whole bunch of that sense.
Oh, it seems like maybe they're trying to
decision making. Yeah. I mean, because how different would this game have been if I'm just putting it in United States context, right? It's like if you just go to the hood or the trailer park, you get people to volunteer straight up, and that'd be easy. If you go to the most impoverished areas, it would be easy to round folks up. But this is about decision making, right? It's like the whole Squid Game thing, because it's like, remember what you were saying, that guy is saying, if you just follow the rules, you're going to be fine. And then that contradicts who they are as people, though. There are people who don't follow rules.
I knew you were going to give us some sociological.
Hey, that's why I get paid the big bucks. That's why I get paid the big bucks.
You're right. I wonder if you're right.
So that's the commentary that's happening right
Because
now, right? It's like, that's why this is hard. That's why this is hard. If you and I went in, this would be easy. We follow rules. We would know how to play that game, right? It's like, I mean, maybe you would have got, well, I'm sure we both would have got freaked out. But when the gunshot started, but it's like, oh, I'm just gonna follow these rules. Like, this is gonna be easy.
And it's so funny how they say that, because I kept hearing that, like in my head, I kept going over how they made it sound so simple. You just follow the rules. The other people were eliminated because they didn't follow the rules. All you have to do in life is follow
the rules.
Who's not following the rules that they had to make this movie?
Right? I mean, this is society though. But remember, again, it's like, here I am again, talking about this juxtaposition of like capitalism and rule following, right? And then you have, of course, that one character who went, I don't want to say rags to riches, but he's definitely lower class and made it to, you know, the university and then became successful, but then he didn't follow the rules, right? He stole people's money. He started investing all of this stuff. And so it's like, it literally is a commentary. And I really wanted to know the story of the women that are in that space, because the women dropped to their knees. And, you know, and we know already, right, that, well, we've talked about it before, but dropping to your knees in order to apologize and all of that, that is a huge, gigantic deal in Korea. And so I really wanted to hear more about their stories, because these are women that had children in a family. And I'm like, yo, like, how do you get that far in? What has to happen in order for this to happen? And so, but anyway, that was something that I thought was, that I'm just waiting. I can't, hopefully we get some of that story.
Yeah, I think they'll tell us. So yeah, anyways, you just have to follow the rules. That is going to be interesting. So they start voting.
Yeah, man, that was so deep. I'm telling you, it was like, that was so deep to me. Of just watching them vote and talk about like, yo, I really don't have any other prospects here. And
they told them that. They're like, where are you guys going to go back to
and
life?
Yeah, exactly. Right. And you know what, I remember, I wanted to make sure I said that the rules that they said was that, look, y'all can quit now, and then the money is going to go to these people's families.
Oh, yes. So the ones that
so you can actually be altruistic. See, this is the part that's really deep to me, is that this could actually be altruistic. You could actually say, you know what, we're going to stop the game now, and those families are going to get this money, and then we're done. But they were like,
somebody did say,
it's greed. I mean, I don't want to say greed, but it's like,
somebody said, why should they get all the money? Didn't they say that? Like, why they're going to give the money to all the people that already died? Why don't we have a chance to?
Yeah, I'm for real. That's what I'm saying, right? It's like, it could have been altruistic. Oh man, that person died. It's like, yeah, their family should get the money. They're like, I'm gonna try to get this money. Forget their family.
Interesting.
Forget and they, oh my goodness, we're jumping ahead. Okay. You're killing me, because I want to jump ahead to
we can if you need to.
I wanted to just, the foreshadowing already of how the police are going to get involved in trying to take this thing down.
Okay. So the last vote, it looks like it was about 50-50.
It was 50. It was 100 to 100.
Because
and number one, the old man with the brain tumor,
he voted not to.
And he voted not to continue.
Yeah, interesting.
That was surprising to me. It was actually surprising to me.
Yeah, because we'll see him later, and he decides to go back.
Yeah, dang, you jumped all the way to the
end. I know, but I'm assuming everybody watched, and it's a review. So the interesting is, they drop everybody off. They show, them dropping people off, certain people, different places, like just in their underwear, freezing cold.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know.
I mean, why would you put? Yeah,
they probably got
with like a bag of clothes or something like that.
Oh,
their original clothes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then what's his name? The main character. What is the name? Ji-hoon?
Who? The main character?
Yeah.
Ji-hoon?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Ji-hoon gets I'm getting used to their names and everything, but gets dropped off with the North Korean defector.
The girl.
Yeah, who pickpocketed him, right? Yeah. And so I thought that exchange was hilarious. It was hilarious, right? It's like, she was like, free me. And he does, and then she's like getting dressed, and she like leaves him tied up. He was like, "What's up?"
Yeah, Yeah.
And then she was like, the moment I untie you, you're gonna try to get your money back. He's like, no, I won't. I promise. And then she just does his hands, and then he's like, give me my money back. I thought it was hilarious. That was hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me see. So you see his friend, his name is Sang Woo. You can see him when he's dropped off and he looks at his phone. He already has messages. He has a subpoena.
Yep.
Like he's in trouble.
He's in big trouble.
He's
absolutely.
Yeah, he's in trouble. And then this is where the police station guy comes in. So he's our other main role character.
Oh, okay.
He plays Junho. And this is where he comes in because our main character, Ji-hoon's at the police station trying to tell him what's going on, and they don't believe him.
Yeah.
But the officer overhears him, and then later we find out that his brother is missing.
Yeah.
So there's a connection there.
And then you see the cards. The cards made the connection.
He sees the business card. And then, yeah, when he goes, I guess, to his brother's home, he sees the business card.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, because he's going to, the police officer is going to contact Ji-hoon later.
Yeah.
To see if there's some connection there, because he's like, my brother's missing.
Yep.
But then that's where you see Ji-hoon's like, I'm not in a position to help anybody.
Right.
And he just,
that's for sure.
He goes home and then he sees another business card. They're trying to call them back.
Yeah.
And they know they're going to come back because these guys, all these people are down on their luck.
No, absolutely.
The thing, what happens when he goes home, Ji-hoon, his mother's in the hospital. And so his mother, because of the effects of diabetes, she needs surgery.
Yep.
And he doesn't have money. And that's what causes him to go to his ex-wife's home.
Oh man, that was brutal.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
And beg for money.
Beg for money. And then the dude, oh my god. I mean, to me as a father, the part that was the most brutal about it was that the stepfather, he did come, well, there was all the stuff with the kid, but the stepfather came out with a whole thing of what money, and was like, look, here you go. Now get out of her life. Like,
at first you think, wow, he's a great guy. But basically he's trying to pay him.
Yeah, pay him off. Well, I still think that's actually being a great guy. I'm not gonna discount that. I mean,
you're right.
It's
you're
like,
right.
dude, you are a loser. You are a loser of losers. And you're gonna bring down your ex-wife, and but most importantly, you're gonna bring down your child with all of this behavior.
Because he said too, she's affected by this.
Yeah, and so it's like, to me, it's like, look, if I can get rid of you, that actually probably do her a favor. So
you're right.
Yeah, I wouldn't see that as necessarily a bad thing. But yeah.
So he punches him.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would. That's pretty insulting. That's big time insulting, but yeah. But it still was the right thing to do. He loves
his daughter. I mean,
No, we got that right. It's like, remember what I told you? I told you with The King, I told you with Boys Over Flowers. Whenever you want to portray a man as sympathetic, you show how they are with their kids. You show them how they are with their kid. And so we already got that snapshot in the first one. It's like, yo, you know what? He's down on his luck, but for real, he loves his daughter, right? And so that's why we're at. Him. Yeah, that's why we're compelled, right? Even though he's making all these bad decisions, we are compelled to like this guy because his daughter would miss him. You know, like that's it.
Well, our girl, I feel kind of bad because I was listening to our episode and we kept calling her a thug. But in the US, like, that's a term of endearment. If you're a thug. It might be,
yeah.
Some people might be like,
oh. It's not necessarily, it's like, yeah, there could be something.
You're tough.
Yeah, just tough, yeah.
You're tough and we
But it could definitely be you're a thug and then characterized and whatnot. But
we say it as a term of endearment.
I don't know if I thought that in the beginning, but
okay. So Saba,
she's thuggish. She has thuggish behaviors for sure.
Well, remember we see her on the playground with the little boy. Yes, who's her brother.
That's her brother.
And so you can't help but to like her. I mean, she loves her brother, and
she became that tough because, as you know, to be from North Korea and to defect. And then have her brother come over, and then clearly she's getting hustled by this dude who was supposed to bring her parents over, because the brother is wondering when the parents are going to come. So it's like, yo, like this. Now all of a sudden her character makes perfect sense.
That's rough. I remember I read that book, The Girl with Seven Names. It's on our Instagram. I posted it about a woman who, I don't want to say escaped because she didn't necessarily mean to escape North Korea.
Okay.
She was just she was about to become of age, and she goes to, she sneaks over to China to see family, but she ends up not being able to come back.
Oh.
And so, yeah, that's rough. I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
What you have to go through to try to get out of there.
Right. No, absolutely. And so that explains her.
So then they show Ali. He's not one of our main characters.
I like that dude.
Ali.
I like him.
So
I like him already.
He tells his family, go back home. Because I think he's going to go back. Right. We know he's going to go back to the games, but he's telling his wife, and she has a child, you need to go back home. Yeah.
Just trying to take care of him. And so I don't know how they're going to, kind of finesse it, because we're seeing that for the South Koreans anyway, that it's about bad choices. But you know what? I can't even say that, because the North Korean what is her actual name in the thing? She's number 67. I guess that's what we call her.
Saba.
But that she didn't make a bad decision. She's a refugee. She's just desperate, survival. Right? And so it's not necessarily. I'm just kind of trying to wonder how the rules and rule following are going to be involved with Ali. That's it. I'm just thinking about that.
Oh, you weren't talking about number 67, Saba.
With her, it's like now I'm thinking it's like, well, no, she didn't follow the rules. She defected from her country. That's why she's in the situation that she's in. But that's very sympathetic. But I'm really trying to stay consistent with, like, this is about your choices, and see how that's going to go down.
Yes, that's interesting, because you see him go back to his job, and he was working, and his boss didn't pay him.
Yeah, Ali seems the guy hustle. That's
and then you see them getting that little scuffle, and his boss gets his fingers smashed.
That was crazy.
I don't know.
That was crazy.
I don't know how watching all these scenes. It's hard.
It was that was up there on the gross level, but it's rough. But of course, look, I watch Walking Dead, stuff like that, so the gore factor of it was pretty decent. But yeah, I was actually I was more surprised, like literally like, oh snap, like that actually just happened, and it was completely believable. It was believable to me, so I was like, wow, yeah, an accident like that could happen.
Yeah. So the best friend, Sang-woo, he talks to his mother on the phone.
Oh man, that was brutal.
She thinks that he's in the US. Yeah. And so she's at her vendor, her little stall. Yeah. And then proud. She's so proud. Oh my gosh. And then that's when the authorities come. So we're looking for your son because of financial fraud.
Yeah, she's like, oh, he can't possibly be. And it's like, man, you put all your hopes and dreams into one person like that. Oof, man, that was brutal. I mean, like, and we were supposed to feel that, right? It's like we were supposed to feel that, like, straight to our heart, because I mean, here's this mother who's just grinding it out, and here's this son that's finally starting to come up in the world, and then
prestigious,
he makes all the wrong decisions. And he even put his mother's store up as collateral.
Right. So they're about to take it. That's what I thought they were going to do. Come and shut down. She's going to have nothing. She's going to have nothing.
I thought they were going to repossess it right then and there. Put her on the street, like right then and there. I thought that's how that was.
So he's desperate.
I mean, he's so desperate. That dude, he was about to commit suicide. I mean, that looked like a suicide.
Was in the tub?
Oh yeah.
Because you saw him in the tub.
Yeah, he was drunk, which loosens up your blood. He was in the tub, and so normally what happens in that situation, right then, like somebody rung the bell. It was like he was there. Somebody rung the doorbell, and then he got out.
And and they showed his card had a date and time.
I don't. Oh yeah, like this is when you're supposed to go.
Speaking of the authorities, there's a police car right in front of our house.
What? I don't like. Okay.
I didn't see anybody drive by. We're about to be taken down right now.
So we're about to take us a Squid Game. If you hear this video, Save us.
We didn't do it. We
Save
didn't
us.
do it. Call somebody.
So we need a good lawyer. But anyway, so but no, that's a suicide scene.
Oh yeah.
That's a suicide scene. Bathtub, he's drunk, and that's a moment when you normally see someone slit the wrist. That's what that was supposed to be.
So then
so for him to get out of the bathtub for real, that was actually a big deal. He was like, okay, I'm gonna get this phone.
Yeah.
Right. And so that was deep.
It makes me sad.
I know. No, I mean, wow.
Because it makes me it's a little depressing, even though this is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also watching Good Girls. I don't know if you know anything about it. I watch Good Girls while I do my laundry because I don't have to read, so I just kind of have it played in the background.
Yeah.
And I watch that, and just like Breaking Bad, I feel like, man, there's some good people out there that are just one bad decision away.
Yeah.
One little thing that happens in their life and they're not thinking quite right.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you find out, you're laundering money.
Yeah. Next thing you find out, you become Heisenberg.
You're making
all of a sudden.
And I'm just like,
which I'm not even, I mean, that's funny. And yet at the same time, to me, it's not funny because I literally have grown up with people in my life who they just used to be the kid I played with at the park. And we used to play street football and baseball.
And one little bad thing, and then you get desperate, or you don't think straight, or you're embarrassed of what somebody might think of you.
Yeah. And then decisions start snowballing on top of each other. And then all of a sudden you find yourself, in prison or dead or selling drugs, and it's like you look back and go like, how did I get to this space over this, right? But it's a lot of things, a lot of factors in that space. But I mean, he has the most potential for redemption. He's gonna get murked. I'm putting my predictions out right now.
Are you talking about Ji-hoon 456, the main?
No. The business guy.
Friend.
Yeah.
Sungwoo.
Yeah. The business guy. I'm just gonna call him the business guy.
He just has to admit what he did, apologize, and move on.
I think he's gonna move on. Yeah.
We make mistakes. People make mistakes, and people, when you get desperate,
but embezzling money and fraud, that stuff.
I wonder why. Do we know why?
We do not know.
I mean, I don't think he needs it. He just
probably not.
We don't know yet either. Maybe there is a reason.
When you start chasing dollar signs, like I said, that's the whole capitalistic influence, the greed and all that stuff. Like I said, remember, when I say that capitalism causes it, I'm just saying that this is clearly something that South Korea is dealing with, because horror always deals with what is the national conscious, like what is happening in a nation. Horror deals with that in a horrible, in a horrifying way. It's like, yo, this is what our society could become. And then, crazy bad things happen and stuff like that.
Well, we see Ji-hoon 456, and he's at a convenience store, and then his friends.
He sees number one.
Well, right before that, he's asking his best friend for money. Another friend. Remember the friend that owns that store, and then the wife comes out.
Yeah, well, he's making his rounds on asking for money because his mother is all that.
Yeah, and then he meets up with one.
Yep.
And they share ramen and soju together, and one tells them, "I'm going back." He says, "It's life out here is worse." What does he say? He said, he goes, I beat you at red light, green light.
Yeah.
And he says,
my man is flexing. He's flexing already. Like,
he says, life here is more tormenting.
Yeah. I mean, and he has like nobody.
And remember, he has a brain tumor.
Yeah. He has nothing to lose. He's the kind of guy that.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know when I'm going to die. I could just, and he's older. He's like, why not? But do we know, does he need money? He must, but they never really say why.
They never really say why.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, maybe to get the brain tumor operated on, who knows?
But, maybe that.
But maybe not.
So he's probably just like, look, if I die, I die. I could die tomorrow. So why not just chance it and make this money?
Have fun. doing it or not.
I remember how old is my dad?
68. Yeah,
So my
close
dad
up.
likes motors. He has like a couple bikes.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a Harley.
And a ninja bike.
Yeah. And he's like fallen. He doesn't even care. He fell the other day.
Really?
Somebody had to help him. He was, yeah, he almost got hit. But he drives up, and his Harley, and he's like, me and my sister is a little more hard on him. She's like, you need to stop. I'm like, he loves it.
Yeah.
He's did his time. He doesn't have little kids anymore. He has to worry. And he's kind of like, at my age, he's like, I want to do what I want to do. If I die on it,
yeah,
I could die. He had open heart surgery, a triple bypass 5 years ago. And he's like, damn, I just want to do what I want to do. If I go down, I go down.
Yeah.
And so I feel like this man too, he's like, look, I already got, my brain tumor. And it looked like he was having fun. Mm-hmm. Remember when he was running? He's like, this, man, I played this when I was a child. Yeah. I'm good at this. Let me just have fun. Yeah. I'm having fun. And I meet you and I'm half your age or, whatever. I don't know.
You're half my age. Yeah. I feel you.
So I'm rooting for him.
Oh my goodness! Of course, he's definitely.
I'm curious to know though why he's there.
I already know he's going to die.
Well, he is. He's not, according to my drama list, because that's where
he's not even the main character.
He's not one of them.
Then you already know he's gonna get smart. He's gonna get murked. You already know.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
we'll see.
So our little thug friend. Turn the page on my drama sheet that you can get at talkkiddramas.com.
Right there. Y'all can't see.
I wrote my notes.
Too much light.
Doksu 101. Remember, he's the guy that got in a fight with.
No, so not the North Korean defector. So the actual gangster dude.
Yeah.
The gangster guy
who got in a fight with the girl.
Yeah.
While they were at the warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
Well, remember his whole scene.
Mm-hmm.
He had the whole scene with one of his friends, and he has gambling, right? Because they said, how did you steal the money from the Philippines?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah. They came back.
He did something shady with the Philippine
and then
mafia or something like that.
Killed his friend. Yeah. Well, supposedly friend, right? The guy he was in the car with, stabbed him in the leg. And some of those scenes, like, I don't know if kids should be watching this, but I know I'm already, I just have to have a little talk with Alana. Because she finished it already, right?
Yep, she did.
Carter finished it, but I'm a little concerned. Like, these are not scenes I think young kids should be watching.
I hear you.
And so, it was a little.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to watch it first to recommend it to the kids. They jumped all over this one already.
Yeah, and I think she should know better to do that.
Yeah.
But all her friends are watching it, so she just started watching.
For sure.
And but we tell her, like, don't just start watching shows you don't know. You need to ask.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to talk to her about that.
Yeah.
That one. But anyways, he has a plan, Doksu. Mm-hmm. And what was interesting? Remember when they were in the car, him and his associate, I'm going to call him, and they're talking, and is it because the associate call him Doksu, and that's his name, but I thought it meant something else because the guy goes, Doksu. Is it because he wasn't talking, because he was talking to him formally? Is that why? Because
I think so.
Because otherwise he would have called him boss or
right. Yeah.
That because at first I was like, oh, what does that mean? But that's his name.
It doesn't. That's his name, and it was the informality.
Yeah. And because he
was about to smoke him. Yeah. That's why. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's planning something because he's like, look, I got them figured out. They all have, they have guns. They pick us up, but there's only one guy that picks us up.
Yep.
And so what we can do, he's planning on taking all that money.
Right.
And so, anyways, so he's planning something.
For sure. I don't know how he was gonna find the place though.
Well, because when they pick him up.
So if you pick him up,
and then
you murk the dude.
Yes. Yeah. Oh.
No, how are you gonna get there?
You're right. Probably what's gonna happen is he's gonna have his friends follow them.
There you go. That's why. Smart and sexy.
Oh my gosh, don't say that.
Why I can't say you sexy? You're my wife.
We're on, like, people are watching. There could be kids. I'm cutting that out.
Beautiful. Smart and beautiful. There you go.
Okay. I think we're just about done.
Oh, yeah.
All the contestants are all waiting to be picked up again.
Yes, they are. And no, that wraps up the whole
They'll
thing.
go, except one little thing. What were you gonna
What's
say?
that? No, go ahead.
I know you caught it.
I don't know if I caught anything.
Saba, the girl,
Mm-hmm.
she's not asleep.
Oh, yeah. There's that.
She's awake. So
We
she's
shall
planning
see
something too.
We'll see what winds up happening with that.
Maybe her and Duxu, maybe her and Duxu are gonna
We'll see. I don't know.
be allies at the end.
There's some room for that.
It could be kind of like what's that show where they put them on an island or something?
Survivor.
Maybe it'll be like Survivor, where they're like, look, if we smoke them, more money for us.
Yeah. Only split it 2 ways. And we get rid of everyone else.
Because really interesting here.
Because it doesn't say anything about how you have to play the game. It just says you're supposed to play the game.
You have to
and the rules of the games are very simple.
You're right. Because they could actually become allies, so they can help each other stay alive, just like they did on the first game.
Yep.
How Ollie held 456.
Yep, for sure.
Or they could push him. Like, remember the girl?
She was about to pull his hair. I thought she was going to do it and get him smoked, but she didn't.
She could. Oh, I wonder why she didn't. Well, she didn't really. Maybe they didn't understand. They didn't understand yet the full.
People were getting murked all around them already. So
yeah. Oh, interesting. Because that's more money. That's more money for them if they have this all planned out. They're like, let's see what kind of group of people, because you may have a group. Every groups are different, right? You may have a group that come in and say, let's help each other.
Yep.
Or you can have a group that says,
all for one, one for all. Yeah. Or all for one. Well, I shouldn't say one for all, but just out for themselves, no matter what it takes, right? And so the thing that I'm sorry, you.
No.
The thing that I wanted to just say was that I really appreciate the fact that this is not that the way that they did this story. That they voted to get out and now they're voluntarily going back in, knowing exactly what they're getting into. This changes the dynamic of everything that we're about to see, right? Because if they didn't do this, they didn't let them, get away. If they didn't, vote to stop the game, but they didn't do that, then all this would be an escape thing, right? It's like, and then it would actually make more sense to make the alliances and stuff like that, or play it together, right, in order to try to escape. But now it's like, I'm going in with my eyes wide open. And so now no more voting, no more nothing. Now we're just about this game, and which really makes me like, I'm excited now to see the rest of this. I was excited before, but just to say, like, I'm glad it's this kind of movie versus, how do we escape? Oh my goodness, right? How bad is this?
Oh, that they're going in.
It's actually going in. It's like, how am I going to win?
Yeah.
That's a whole different movie, and I'm appreciating that right now.
I'm excited. Listen, if we don't show up next week,
because that police officer's still out there, and my Black Lives Matter.
Call for help. Call somebody.
Y'all can be as mad about that as you want. Straight up.
Thank you for listening. This is a Talk K-Dramas with Bruce and Alice. Episode 3 next week.
Indeed.
Ooh, we might have a special guest.
We might
have a guest. Come on.
If our daughter is up to it, because that's number 3 is her favorite.
She said number 3 was her favorite. So maybe if we have to bribe her. We could bribe her with a boba.
Yes. I think that'll work.
Yeah.
Might work. She might have the boba while she's on the screen with
this. We can entice her. We have it right here.
That's the only way we'll be able to get her to do it.
Okay. Thanks for listening. Contact us. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what you're thinking of the show, and also Squid Game.
Indeed.
What are you thinking? Bye.
Bye.